Let's just watch it. Fuck it.
No question.
I think that a person who was assigned male at birth, I don't think they
Assigned male at birth, so people are not male at birth?
I think that a person...
See, your evidence that college is a scam, my friend.
So what do you say in some cases women lie to murderers?
Of course not, they're
You saw this part.
Christians to judge.
So I just want to make sure I'm clear. Why does that then equate to moral viability?
It equates to scientific viability.
Why? Under what standard?
Because it is not alive, and you are advocating for the rights of something that is not technically a life,
Got it. So what is it something
while
that
sacrificing the needs of the human woman who is alive.
Got it. So, but a mom can survive
Yes.
without the baby in her,
Uh-huh.
right?
Yes.
The baby cannot survive without the mom.
Yes.
But a mom cannot survive without her lungs. So it's not her body, it's in her body. It's not
Yeah,
her
I
DNA,
know.
so it's not her choice. So it's a
It actually is directly her DNA.
Get up out of here! You lost.
100%. It's 50% of her DNA.
after DNA.
She kind of feisty.
He's gonna win, I'm telling you. This could take a while.
Okay, first of all,
Do we have our terms correct? Do we agree?
actually no. So first of
Okay,
all,
got it.
I'd like to refine our terms.
Got it.
2 points to bring up after that, though. So you define murder as like intentionally like killing a human being.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a very poor way to define murder because if someone were to like break into my home and point a gun at the heads of me and everybody I love, and I intentionally kill them to prevent them from killing my family, I don't think I murdered them, right? So I would define murder as the unjust
Nigga, what? What?
from killing my family. I don't think I murdered them, right? And I intentionally killed them to prevent them from killing my family. I don't think I murdered them, right?
So. Huh?
So I would define murder as the unjustified termination of a human life.
You're making a good point. Let me further clarify that. So, self-defense.
I can never
is
do
very
this shit.
important.
I ain't gonna lie.
Exactly, right?
But I can see where you're going to go with how that has to go with abortion, but we can go down that journey in a second.
Yeah, so I mean, like, I kind of do. Let me give you my argument so far as I'm pro-choice, why I think it's justified. But first, I think that, your position is quite absurd, right? Because you're saying that it's murder to kill a human being, right, at any point in development, especially once in the mother's womb. My question to you would be, well, does this make women with IUDs murderers? Because it is the case that in some scenarios, an IUD will allow for conception to occur, meaning there's a unique human life there, but it will prevent its implantation intentionally.
This nigga smart as fuck.
No, preventing implantation is not necessarily the same thing as terminating a fertilized egg. For example, if you take Plan B, again, it's not the same thing. Preventing the production of progesterone is not the same thing as terminating a being that has been fertilized. You do not know for a fact that the egg has been fertilized. You do not know that with an IUD.
Okay, yeah, so preventing fertilization or implantation to be lining is killing a conceived zygote. So what happens? A sperm goes into the egg, right? The egg becomes fertilized, it's a conceived zygote. In some cases, it will prevent the implantation of the conceived zygote, killing the conceived zygote.
In some cases, correct.
So when you say in some cases, women with IUDs are
Of
murderers?
course not, they're not murderers. We do not know for a case. That's like saying that.
So what's the difference between an IUD killing a conceived zygote and like a mother going to Planned Parenthood and killing the fetus in her womb?
Well, so you're asking two separate things. If they knew for certain, to be more clear, that I have a fertilized egg and I'm going to take a drug to prevent that fertilized egg from attaching to their uterine wall, then yes, that is inaccurate.
This nigga look like a younger Tom Holland.
Okay.
Or like Tom Holland's stunt double or something.
Do I think all murderers should go to jail? I mean, on third degree murder. However, no, I don't think women that got abortions or had IUDs should go to jail because I think that they have been deceived by mass culture and mass propaganda. Secondly, the people who should go to jail are the abortionists, who are the ones that have been putting the abortion pill, the ones that have been doing procedures, the ones that have been going into the third trimester and breaking babies' backs and inserting them with syringes while the babies are crying and suffocating, being born alive, and then
This nigga looking around like, fuck
being
y'all.
dead on the operating table. That is who should go to jail.
Oh.
That's actually the best one. That's what he did.
We'll have to talk
I know.
Okay, whenever I'm talking about this discussion, I always go to the question of what about in the case of the mother when her life is in danger? Because I'm a big believer. I don't know. I'm still iffy on if I think it's or if it's murder or not. But even so, I mean, I don't want to say murder is justified. Guys, wait. Let me just get this one point, and then you can vote me out. Give me 1 second. Say the mother gets pregnant, and she knows that if she gives birth, she's gonna die. She has some kind of health complication. Then what do you do?
Bro, it wasn't even a minute. They trying to get her ass out of there.
She Guys, wait, hold on to me. One second.
They go right below the belly button, and they deliver the baby, and after she doesn't have to give
GG,
birth. It's technically
GG.
birth, but it's much safer. So that's actually safer than an abortion procedure. Sorry, Lily. Hello, how are you?
Hi.
What's your name?
Deedon.
Nice to meet you.
I would say with abortion, I think it's very complicated, but I think the issue that I have primarily with your stance of being pro-life, there's no nuance. There's women who are being forced to travel.
Why is this shit an hour long?
Abortion care, even in cases of rape in certain states that they're not giving any sort of allowance for that. And I think a lot of people who are pro-life, they say that they're pro-life, but I feel like they're really pro-birth. Because with firearms, the United States has some of the highest firearm deaths out of OECD nations, right? And we can acknowledge that that's for children who are actually living and breathing. So I feel like abortion, while yeah, it is, I can definitely see your point. I just think that it should be allowed in some circumstances.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. I'm happy to get into the gun violence stuff later, but I want to really stay focused on abortion.
Right.
You can say you see my point. Can you see the world also where, since we know it's a human life, that it should be illegal since we don't allow murder in our society?
Well, that's where I have an issue, because abortion is not being done willy-nilly. It's like the life of the mother is always.
How many abortions do you think we have every day in America? Just guess.
I'm not sure.
Guess.
I'm honestly not sure. Maybe, I don't know, 1,000?
4,000 a day. So it is kind of willy-nilly. We have 1.6.
4,000 a day? What the fuck?
Sorry.
I ain't gonna lie, he debunking everybody.
Hello.
I just want
Thick
to
ass.
Hello.
I just want to clarify, the thing that you're aiming for is less abortion, right? That would be what you want, or at least no abortion.
Eventually, it's also a protection of those that can't protect themselves. But yes, and that's why after the reversal of Roe versus Wade, we saw abortions go down dramatically in Texas, Alabama, Mississippi. We saw thousands of babies that are now alive and well that are able to have amazing lives thanks to the reversal of Roe versus Wade.
I don't think a lot of that is true.
Well, it is, but
it's not true, because when you make abortion illegal, it doesn't actually decrease the amount of abortions
that's a nice
that happen.
talking point. In Texas, the numbers show differently. The birth rate has gone up.
Yeah, legal goes down, but illegal abortions still happen. Abortions still happen outside of whatever data you're
That's
showing.
not true, but let's just say, well, if you
40?
if you want to, well, first of all, if you count the abortion pill, you're right, but that's a separate thing than a chemical abortion and surgical abortion are different things. And I'm not debating you, I'm debating her. So if you want to do the flags and come back in, try and be faster next time. Let me ask you this. So we should try to limit unjust suffering of human beings. That's my position, is that there's unjust suffering of anywhere between 1.4 to 1.6 million abortions a year of human beings that are being massacred in the womb. And so that's not a women's rights issue, that's not a men's rights issue, that's just a human rights issue.
Okay, the best way to decrease abortions happening is proper sex education. Limiting abortion and making abortion illegal does not actually decrease the amount of abortions that happen.
So what is your evidence of that?
What is my evidence of that?
Because we have increased sex education in the last 30 years.
No, our sex education is so bad in America.
Well, by bad, what do you mean by that? We have more access to birth control for young kids. We have more kids that are learning to use birth control at a younger age. We have more of that in our public school system. And we've seen all the trends actually go in a negative direction. So, in fact, we see that the more sex education there is, the more disturbing those trends are. So you say that, let me ask just one more thing.
Mm-hmm.
You say that if we make abortion illegal, people will still do it. Should we then just make gang violence legal because
No, I'm
people
saying
still
if you
do it?
actually wanted to decrease the amount of abortions that happen, you wouldn't be advocating for to make abortion illegal. You'd be advocating for all
Does
of these
that
other
logic
things.
apply to stealing, looting, kidnapping, arson, and murder?
Well, actually it does, because those are results of different
Okay,
societal
so-
issues
so-
that you should be
Got it.
educating
So we
yourself
should
on,
make-
rather than making it
so we
illegal
should
on
make-
front.
Should we make kidnapping, arson, burglary, murder legal because they're symptoms of something else?
We should be helping society heal from
We
those
gotta
things.
answer the question. We want less of those things. Should we just make them legal and we'll get less looting?
You know, actually, I'm gonna let someone else.
Thank you.
Oh my god, yo, he's good. Yo, he's good. Wait, y'all can't even see him, right? Fuck.
Hi, Parker. Nice to meet you. Yes.
Nice to meet you, Charlie.
Big TikTok guy here.
So, like, pedophiles, people who were married to children in the past and normalized in that society, should they go to prison?
Pedophiles.
Like, if you could go back in time, would you put those pedophiles in prison that married those children because it was normalized? They were deceived into thinking it's okay. Would you put them in prison?
You got to slow down.
Sorry.
Pedophiles should get the death penalty.
No, so you'd go back in the past, you give them the death penalty, even though they were deceived into thinking it was okay. But you said people who get abortions who are women shouldn't go to prison.
Yo,
Okay.
Bro. This nigga's the Flash.
Regardless,
pedophilia
at that time it wasn't.
No, I would not go back and retroactively enforce laws where things were currently not illegal.
You wouldn't put pedophiles in prison in the past.
Hold on a second. When was it illegal? When was it legal in America?
Well, child marriage was legal in America throughout the early 1900s, and especially throughout most of society for thousands of years, especially in the Old Testament and in the Bible, right?
Hold on a second. So where is the Levitical law that allows you to marry a child?
Oh, yeah.
Can you name the verse?
Well, I can't name the verse, but the particular conditions that are listed in the Bible are that you have to be physical maturity and emotional maturity, which is extremely vague and throughout society has been seen to be met at puberty.
There is not a verse, but let's kind of go
back. Okay, so when is the age of consent
abortion.
under your view?
Let's go back to, generally agreed upon it's 18 years old. But let me ask you
because you don't go based on what's generally agreed, you go based on the Bible.
I say 18 years old, but let me ask you a question.
Where's that in the Bible?
When does life begin?
Conception.
Like conception, great. So good. So should we protect all life at conception?
I care about sentient life, not
sentient.
cellular
So
life.
when do brainwaves start?
Do you think brain dead people should be able to pull the plug on, like a family should be able to pull the plug on an individual in a family that's brain dead?
You gotta answer the question. When do brainwaves start?
You can see brainwaves around 6 to 8 weeks, which in brain dead individual there are brainwaves as well. So the brainwaves necessary to produce a subjective experience aren't met until around 18 through 26 weeks in the womb.
Can you see it from my perspective that at 6 to 8 weeks those brainwaves will actually increase, not decrease, and will allow the process of development to continue?
Did you know those same EEG scans exist in brain dead people that you don't think are
sentient?
sentient?
But the difference with the brain dead people is that the likelihood of those brainwaves actually increasing is very low at 6 to 8 weeks, when by 15 weeks they can hear the mom's
impossible.
Voice.
It's irreversible sensation. That's what brain death is. I didn't know that.
But no,
it's not coma.
But you're doing a red herring. Go back to
no, it's not. What's a red herring?
A red herring is where you avoid the topic and you say something that is adjacent or symmetrical to what I'm saying, but not actually what I'm saying.
You mean a reductio ad absurdum? That's not a red herring.
A 6 to 8 week baby, if they're allowed to continue to develop, what ends up happening?
At a certain point, it will become a sentient being in the future. The same way that if I keep engaging in sex with my girlfriend, there'll be a baby in the future. Yet I don't care about the
unless
sperm.
you're infertile, which we don't know. But let's see the process of development. Right? Why
do you want to answer my question?
Why do you have the ability or the right?
Should those child P3os go to prison?
The process of
should the pedophiles go to prison?
From 1904. How many pedophiles are alive from 1904?
They're not alive, right? I meant like if you can go back in the past, hypothetically speaking, and you could put them in prison. Would you put them in prison?
I would have killed them myself if I was alive.
Okay, so then you don't apply it based upon what people are deceived to believe. You apply it based upon what you consider to be moral. So the women who had abortions, you think they should go to prison. So why should women who get abortions go to prison, but someone like my mom who told me that Santa Claus exists shouldn't go to prison because they're both sense?
If you keep on talking over me.
Well, I was finishing my statement, you were talking over me. Go for it.
Let me ask you a very simple question. Do you think it would be a good thing if we had less abortions in America?
It depends on the context. Like, are the abortions prior to sentience?
Yes.
How do people talk so fast and just know what to say? Like, I do not have the mental capacity to argue with someone like this. Like, I'm straight gonna deck you in your face. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. I don't know how he's so calm speaking to this nigga. But if I was this nigga, bro, I would have straight decked him in the face. Cause, bro, this nigga could talk, bro. Oh my god, my head is spinning. And I'm not, bro, oh my god, I'm not too smart for this shit. Oh my god, this nigga making me feel dumb as hell. I would have straight decked him. Fuck you mean? I would have straight decked this nigga, boy.
It would be negative. After sentence, yes.
Okay, so you believe in an 8-week abortion ban?
Yeah. No, I don't. Sorry, I believe in an abortion ban after 18 through 26 weeks.
Okay, that's a more reasonable position. I have to give you credit for that.
It's similar to Trump's. 15 weeks?
Yeah, so why do you think that most people don't share your view on that?
Well, people just don't really know what sentience is. There's not a lot of conversation about abortion, and these conversations are very difficult. Like, they're conceptually hard to go through, and I understand why a lot of people don't understand their positions on it. But I think people
are aware that most
you're cutting
Americans
me off. I thought we weren't cutting people off.
I was actually complimenting you.
This nigga could talk.
How are you? Nice to see you.
Holy shit.
So I just have one question. there's like in any case, you don't think there's any case where abortion should be legal?
There's a very, very rare couple cases.
Okay, so you do
where-
think
hold
that
on
a
one
couple
second.
cases
Hold
it
on.
is legal?
If cesarean section is not going to save the mother's life, and the mother's life is actually at risk, which is debated amongst growing numbers of OBGYNs,
Okay.
that is the only case where abortion should be
Do you
allowed.
think there
But people say that it is a growing consensus in the pro-life world that abortion is never medically necessary.
Okay, so if you had a daughter and she was 10 and she got raped, and she was
Well,
gonna give
I-
birth
I
and
do
she
have
would,
a
no
daughter.
wait, oh, and she was gonna give birth and she was gonna live, would you want her to go through that and carry her rapist baby?
That's awfully graphic. The
It's
answer-
no, but it's a real life
Okay,
scenario that happens
calm
to
down.
many
The
people.
answer is yes, the baby would be delivered.
Oh, okay, great. So that's insane.
But let me tell you why. No, hold on. Let me ask you a question. There's 2 ultrasounds I have. One is a baby conceived in. One is a baby conceived by a loving couple. Which one is which?
Your daughter was probably hopefully conceived by a somewhat
which person
loving
here was
couple.
conceived by? Tell me which one was conceived by.
We don't know.
Exactly, because it's all human rights and
But
it's all
that
human
doesn't
beings.
matter.
So
It's about your daughter who has to give
no.
birth to it and is going to be tortured by that
Hold
for
on a
the rest
second.
of her
You-
life.
you are
That's
not-
going to take away every
Hold on a
freedom
second.
she's ever going to have.
Hold on.
That's going to
Every
ruin
freedom.
her life. She's
You
going
know
to
what?
grow up and she's going to
Abortion
be
is not a
attached to another
victimless
thing.
crime. The point is how you were conceived is irrelevant to what human rights you get.
But-
Hold on one second. If a person conceived in walks down the side of the street, it's not like they don't get First Amendment rights or Second Amendment rights.
It's
or
not
Fourth
about
Amendment
that
rights.
person.
The worst thing to do to that the daughter is to then say, "Hey, we're gonna go murder the being inside of you."
They wouldn't even know. Like, listen.
They wouldn't know.
Listen.
But wouldn't it be
No.
a better story
No,
to say
it
something
wouldn't.
evil happened and we do something good in the face of
No.
evil instead of saying we're going to do evil and then murder the being because we're going to pander to the evil? No. What makes the West great is that we do good after evil, not evil after evil.
It's not about the being in the cells.
No,
It's not about. No. I'm
I know,
speaking.
we're
No,
both-
I'm speaking.
we're both-
No, I'm
we're both
speaking.
clumps
No,
of cells.
I'm speaking. No,
We're
I'm
both
speaking. No,
clumps of
I'm
cells,
speaking. No,
okay?
I'm speaking. No, I'm speaking.
Want to say it one more time?
No, I'm speaking.
Got it.
Thank you. So it's not. I'm not talking.
Oh my God. No, I'm speaking. 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 Oh, yo, nah, this is getting good. I'm not gonna lie.
No, I'm talking about the person who is dealing.
Get her out of
I'm
here.
not talking about the cells. I don't
the
care. No,
cells.
listen.
Yeah,
The
she's
fetus, the
done.
whatever,
Yo,
I
he's
don't care about that
debunking
right now
everybody.
until it is
Wow.
formed.
What
If
when
there
does
is
it
a
become
if
formed?
there is a 5-year-old child who is pregnant and the baby is 2 weeks in
5-year-olds
utero,
can't get pregnant.
actually
Okay.
they have and they have
Okay.
given birth. There
5-year-olds
is
have
yes,
been pregnant.
there
I
is
stand
one.
corrected.
There,
Gave a C-chicken at 5 years old. The father is unknown. But it was possible because she was sexually developed, which can.
case of a
Oh,
5-year-old
wow.
Stand
girl who
corrected,
gave
right?
birth.
Is that common?
Yes, it's common. 5-year-olds get sometimes, and it's,
Okay,
if they get pregnant,
5-year-olds
I
get
think they should be
pregnant.
able to have medical access to something that could save not only just their life, but like their livelihood.
How many? I'm curious. How
I
many?
hope your daughter lives a very happy life and gets away from you.
Okay, so
Why does she say that?
curious. How
I
many?
hope your daughter lives a very happy life and gets away from you.
Okay, so that is really nasty, and so her belief system, just so we're clear, is that. Yeah, no, I got it. It's fine. I mean, it's insanely nasty, and we'll talk again. My next claim is that college is a scam. Hello.
Hello.
What's your name?
I'm Maddox. How are you doing?
Good.
So, college is a scam.
Well, let's define our terms. College being traditional four-year college.
Of course.
University, not community college or technical college.
Of course.
A scam, if we can agree on a definition, is where a majority of people who will go through the institution or business, they're not getting their money's worth, their time's worth, and they're being deceived when they sign up. So do we agree on those terms?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay.
Well, what would further definitions, what do you think is the purpose of going to college?
The purpose of college should be a traditional liberal arts education, the pursuit of what is good, true, and beautiful. That's not what it is. It should
College
be
is a
the
scam, I ain't
betterment of
gonna
yourself and your
lie.
soul, nurturing your character, and becoming a better citizen, understanding the deeper things in life. At the very least, though, it should be preparing one for the job market. Do you think college does those things?
I think it does, but I would add on to your point that I think not only is it for the betterment of yourself, but it's for the betterment of society. We need historians. We need certain majors that may not make as much money. I think those are for the betterment of society. Would you agree that there's some majors that may not make money, but are still essential to society?
It depends. Do you think that getting a degree in gender studies is good for society?
I would agree, yeah. Why would studying gender not be good for society?
Well, learning that men can give birth is not exactly a good use of time, is it?
Is that what they're teaching in college right now?
Colleges, yeah. According to the Center for Disease Control, they no longer say women can give birth, they say birthing persons.
Okay.
Do you think men can give birth?
Do I think men can give birth? I think that...
yes or no question?
I think that a person who is assigned male at birth, I don't think they
assigned male at birth? So people are not male at birth?
I think that a person...
See, you're evidence that college is a scam, my friend.
College is a scam.
You're lacking in a lot
of
wisdom.
Well, here, we can continue right now. So, gender studies, do you think that studying gender is not essential?
Yo, he's good.
Well, I don't think gender, we're going to get there later. I don't think gender exists. I think that there are two sexes, infinite personalities, and no genders. However, let's get back to the core contention.
Well, here, can I ask my question again real quick?
Well,
why do you think...
I'm going to get back to my core contention. A scam. The majority of kids that go to college, if they end up getting a job at all, they end up getting a job that does not require a college degree.
Do you think that certain jobs that may not associate with a direct major can incorporate skills that you learn from a major? I think I'm an econ major, and depending on what job I do in the future, I can still use the skills learned from that.
So tell me about Milton Friedman.
Tell me about Milton Friedman. He is an economist from...
How about Thomas Sowell?
Thomas Sowell.
Ludwig von Mises.
Yo, he's cooking him!
I'm a first year.
How about
he's cooking him up.
I'd love to see you answer the gender studies question.
We will get there later.
Yo, he's
That's
cooking.
what psychedelics are for. Who's next?
He's cooking. Oh my. Yo, this nigga's good, bro.
Well, I think it's
I don't like her. I ain't gonna lie. She didn't even have to say all that.
difficult to think about just one major, thinking about just gender studies. Like, sure, like not everyone should be a gender studies
This is
major. We need
good.
doctors, we
No,
need
I ain't gonna lie. This is good, chat. I thought that shit was boring.
everything.
Hell no.
Why does it matter if 10 people want to be a gender studies major and it
Do I agree college is a scam? Yes, I
them?
do.
Like,
I ain't gonna lie.
not everyone can be a lawyer, not everyone can be a doctor. There needs to be some people, and you know what? Yeah, it sucks that some people do go to college and get a degree and then they end up not in a workforce for that. But I don't think that has to do with like college was a scam. It's more like maybe that just wasn't the path for them, or that life choice was just too hard to get for them. But some people are able to go to college and get a degree and use it, and that is super important, because imagine if no doctors went to college, they're just like, I think I can do it.
Well, of course,
like,
doctors and lawyers need credentialing, right? But
college.
Well, less than 5% of all people that go to college end up studying medicine or in legal. The vast majority go into soft social sciences, communications, or the humanities. So you're in college, or have been, is that correct?
Yeah.
Are you forced to take classes that you think are a waste of time?
Yeah, I'm
Okay,
hold
on. So they're taking your money and they're forcing you that they're a waste of time. That's kind of scammy, right?
Oh, I think that some classes.
Ooh, some. So you have to probably go in debt, right?
Depends.
Okay.
On what college you go to.
Are you going into debt?
No.
Okay, well, that's good.
I picked a school that actually offered me a scholarship.
Oh,
and
so
I
someone
picked a
else is
school
paying
that
for your
was
college.
good. Oh, I don't know. Depends on me. I mean, that's
No, I'm
a
sorry,
school
that's
that wanted
fine.
to give me an opportunity. But that's not what we're talking about.
Well,
We're talking
it is.
about
We're talking about the scam element, right? So you said that there are some classes that if students had to go into debt or had to pay for,
Right.
would not be a good use of their time. So it's not representing students well.
Well, do you think like high school is a scam then? Because I had to pay
Some-
for high
well-
school, but I'm not going to use AP US history in my psychology degree ever.
Well, I think AP US history is actually a really good use of time, knowing about your country and your history. And
Well, but I'm not going to use
Jefferson,
that in
Madison.
my career. That's
Well,
what we're
you
talking
use it
about in
in
the career
your
path
life.
for college.
You use that in your life. Yeah, use that in life.
Right? We said traditional college, right?
Okay.
Four-year college. And what a scam is, or a majority of the people that will go through the enterprise, the business, or the institution are not getting their time worth or their money worth. So therefore, I go back to my core contention, which is a majority of kids that exit college will not use their degree at all when they go to find a job.
But if you ask them, do you think college was a scam? I don't think majority of them are going to say yes. Some of them will. Some of them are
Well,
going to
not
be.
everyone who's being scammed actively knows they're being scammed.
But
People
it's
still
not-
buy erectile dysfunction drugs off the internet and they get
Okay,
scammed.
that's their own
People
like,
still
personal
scam.
choice.
People have choice to be scammed. I'm not saying they don't have a choice. I'm making an observation analysis of the institution. For example, flying Spirit Airlines, kind of a scam.
Okay.
Should be shut down. There is some, kind of agree. There are some things in life we have to take a step back and like, oh, the consumer is not being well served.
You want to shut down a bunch of majors in colleges that you
that.
think are scams?
No, I never said that.
So what would your proposal be to fix the scam of college?
There is no proposal. I'm simply, the contention is college is a scam.
So then what's the point of that statement?
To get you to agree.
But like, what would that do? Like, what do you want to fix college that's going to help it not be a scam?
We can get to step interval 2 as long as you can agree that college is a scam.
No, because not for everyone. For me, I'm using a degree that's going to help people make better.
What are you studying?
Psychology and criminal justice.
Okay, so, and it's being paid for by somebody else, which is fine, that's good. So psychology and criminal justice, do you absolutely need to get a degree to be able to get into this? You do?
Yeah, I mean, like I could, I guess, study it all on my own, but it's just like makes more sense to go and have all these experience. I'm getting like wonderful experiences, internships all through my college.
So
that's helping me go through it. No, it's just that this is a pathway that's really helping me.
So there's 11 million jobs open in the country right now that don't require a college degree.
Okay, then the people who want those jobs can go get those jobs. I'm not one of those people.
Do you think we push too many kids into college?
No.
Okay, so the national graduation rate is 59%. If I asked the room, everyone would agree that they know some people that went to college that did not graduate.
Yeah.
Right? So we're probably sending too many kids into this institution.
But if they might have been able to do it, otherwise...
Yo, he's good! I ain't gonna lie!
Yourself
this nigga needs to be a lawyer.
Get a better education and go further in your life.
That's a bad thing, right?
But some people are able
this
to
nigga had long as
and
fuck.
it's like an opportunity thing.
But when an institution is multi-trillion dollars in scale, involves 23 million of our citizens every 4 years, and is not actually bettering the country. For example, if college was so great, we would see incomes going up for Gen Z and millennials. We'd see more people able to own homes. Kids wouldn't.
He's good, bro.
I'm telling you. This is so ableist, what you're doing, by the way. I'm telling you, right? Hello, what's your name?
Alize.
Nice to meet you.
Okay. Okay, so let me start by saying, well, first of all, you said we're sending too many kids to college. Who's sending them? Who's forcing them?
Guidance counselors, parents, community.
Are they forcing them? Are they signing them up themselves?
Chill.
I never said forcing, but you can have nudging.
Okay.
And forcing are two different things. We also subsidize college through the federal government. So you guys get subsidized interest rates, scholarships, and loans. So the taxpayer is nudging students and gently and sometimes forcing them into college. And you would agree it is an expectation if you grow up in a upper middle class home to go to college. You would agree with that. So there's a societal, cultural push.
I didn't grow up in an upper middle class. So.
Okay, well, but would you see it from there? Would you see how that argument is correct?
I guess there might be a pressure, but no one's sending them. You're sending yourself.
Well, of course.
Well, we're all over the age of 18, right?
Right.
When you're in college, so you're sending yourself.
You're sending yourself, yeah.
But that's beside the point.
Yo, why would she talk like that?
Silly argument.
Well, you're sending yourself.
Yes, they're technically sending themselves. I was just there at State University moving. Everyone had their parents there. They were co-signing on loans. They were there helping pay for stuff. Parents, the ones that are still checking in. They're the ones that largely subsidize their lifestyle. Hey, mom, can you Venmo me $3,000 so that I can go out an extra night? Yes, of course, when you're 18 years old, you're the one signing on the dotted line. But there's enormous pressure and nudging and cultural expectation that students go to college.
Right. Okay. I think the problem here is that it's up to the person. You can't just go to college and expect to come out with a degree. You have to put the work in. You have to put the work in. You have to make connections. And some people might think college is just 4 years of partying and drinking and making friends, whatever. But you have to actually put the work in. And if you put the work in, you make connections, and you can find a job right outside of college.
Well, no, not doubting that you can't find a job. It's just that 52% of them get a job that doesn't require them to get the degree.
But most jobs offer incentive pay if you have a degree. And 86% of people with a degree get paid more than people with just a high school diploma.
That's only if you count the ones at the top 10% of income earners. So not if you count humanities, not if you count people that study in the social sciences. If you count medicine or you count law, that's absolutely correct. However, the vast majority of kids that go to college are not studying medicine, law, engineering, business, finance. They're studying communications, social sciences, or humanities, which are on the lower income ladder. So as I mentioned, we have 11 million job openings in this country right now that do not require a college degree. I'm guessing in this room that within 4 to 5 years, you guys would be able to earn $80,000 to $100,000 a year, yes? Do you know that in states across the country and in cities, they're offering apprenticeships to become plumbers and welders, electricians? That doesn't require for your college degree. Entrance salary, $80,000 a year.
But again, 86% of people with a bachelor's degree earn more than people with a high school diploma. No, 86% of all people with a bachelor's degree.
But if you take out the top 10%, it's actually lower than those that don't go to college. So the reason that number, that average goes up is because the doctors and the engineers and the lawyers are the ones that bring that average so significantly up. But let me ask you a question. Do you think that there's any waste at all in the current college model?
Do I think there's any waste? I don't think we need all of it.
Okay, good. What part?
Well, you have to start with your core classes. And it's like high school. You're taking the same classes in high school.
So do you think, like, for example, do you think that... It's okay. Nice to meet you. Thank you.
She's good. She was good. And respect. No, please not that green nigga. Oh my god, that nigga. I hate that nigga.
Earlier said that about 5% of college students are going into fields of like medicine, law, and engineering.
Let me clarify. Okay, yes, as far as they're going to be able to get postgraduate degrees, so they will go all the way up and get their Juris Master, or they will end up passing the bar or becoming a doctor, right? So it's easy to say doctors, lawyers, but healthcare professionals, if you count nurses or people that work in healthcare, that number is closer to 20-25%.
Okay, so 5%. Who here has a doctor? Can you like raise your hand if you have a doctor?
Like a medical
doctor? Yeah. Like a medical doctor. Yeah, you do. Okay. 5% is still a lot of people, right?
Of course, but that means 95% might not need to exist at the institution.
I don't think that's the takeaway. Just because 5%, which is still millions of Americans all across the board.
But if you were to say, hey, we only have medical schools, only have legal, we can get rid of gender studies, get rid of... So what's the contention?
Well, gender studies is actually, if you look on like the pre-law track, gender studies is a pre-law track. If you're going to be a lawyer, you have to study gender studies and other social cultural studies.
That proves my point that college is a scam. Why would a lawyer need to study gender studies? Shouldn't a lawyer know the law?
It's a social science. The law. You think the law isn't inadvertently affected by social, cultural, and gender norms?
Of course it is, but shouldn't they first know the Bill of Rights, the Constitution, the Federalist Papers?
We learned that in high school.
Okay, so what is Margaret versus Madison?
I haven't been in high school for a really long time. I'm not trying to be a lawyer. Yeah.
So
high schools are like it's public high school.
What was Brown versus the Board of Education?
That's for desegregating schools.
Okay, good.
Yeah, which Project 2025 wants to like defund the Department of Education.
Who wrote the Constitution?
Founding Fathers, 1778. I don't know.
It wasn't 1778.
I don't know. Yeah.
You don't know?
No.
Okay. Well, this is the point: is that you don't learn it in high school. You don't even learn it in undergraduate, and our law school's not learning it. So maybe.
Well, I'm not in law school.
No, the point is that you were saying they already learned it, and they don't. I don't want this to be a pop quiz or trivia. I didn't go to college, and I'm asking you very basic civic questions, and you're paying to go to college, and you can't answer them.
That's so fair, but I think...
Yeah, he's good. Bro, this nigga is good. Please, bumper clot.
I have a question. Is church a scam?
No.
Yo, come on, bro. Bro, I hate this nigga!
This church is honoring the divine and the eternal and the good and the true and the beautiful. Is college?
But it deceives people because you give a promise of everlasting life, which you don't actually get because Christianity is contradictory logically speaking.
Do you want to...
What the fuck do this nigga be talking about? Bro, what do this nigga be talking about?
Get into a theological debate, or are we going to talk about college? Because I completely disagree. Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior, and we will have eternal life.
Okay, so how, if there is a perfect being that created the world, how could we exist in an imperfect world?
I'm happy to have this discussion. Can we go back to college, though? Because do you think, because that's a little bit of a red herring and a little bit of a rabbit hole, tell me what that has to do with college being a scam.
Well, I do think college can be a scam for certain people. I don't think it's a scam for everyone.
We agree.
For people like me, college is
I'm
asking you, based on your definition of a scam, do you consider the Christian church a scam?
Of course not. It's giving people eternal life and teaches them goodness.
But if Christianity is false, then that's a deception.
Okay, but you think it's false. I don't. We can agree to disagree. Also,
I'm not agreeing to disagree on that.
But we're not talking about the church. We're talking about college, right? So again, also, people are not paying to go to church.
But it's a reductio ad absurdum.
Ask the question.
What's a reductio ad absurdum?
Yo, I can't. Yo, deck that nigga, bro. Deck that nigga, bro. Deck that nigga, bro. Bro, deck that nigga, bro. Deck that nigga, bro. This nigga, yo, deck him. Straight deck this nigga, bro. This nigga's annoying.
Reducing down to low.
This nigga stinks.
Am I right? I didn't go to college. I knew that.
I'm taking your particular position.
Let me ask you a question without you interrupting me. Do you pay to go to church?
No, I don't. Some people do. They're forced to pay based upon their
Hold on.
particular denomination.
And today, do you pay to go to church?
And depending on the church.
No, you don't. Do you have to go to debt to go to church?
In some circumstances, people do because they have to give up 10% of their income to be able to do that, which people can't afford. Well, they're LDS. You understand that a lot of LDS churches specifically require 10%.
Yeah, they don't require it. And what you're
they
talking
do
about
in plenty of places.
Well, you're asking mainline Christian.
Isn't there stigmatization
belief.
if you don't do that?
Okay, you're good at interrupting, not good at answering. I did say no. Church is not a scam. Church is the bride of Christ. College is a scam, and college is people are going into debt. They're paying a lot of money. But I want to ask you a question. You said it's a scam for some people. Who's it a scam for?
Yeah, for people who specifically aren't ever going to use it, never use any of the knowledge that they receive from it. Well, you say 52%. I don't think you can qualify 52% of people don't do that.
What number would you say?
For example, my job, that's not going to be recommended as an economics degree. Most economics majors are going to go into TikTok debating online. But I use the information that I learned in college in my job on a daily basis. So I still use relevant qualities that are then used in my job later on.
What percentage of kids that go to college are being scammed?
I don't think anyone knows that.
Can you
Because
guess?
it's dependent upon an individual. I have no clue.
Should we try to find out?
Well, if you'd like to find some empirics on that, I'd love to see it.
I just did. So 41%.
That's not a source.
Well, the Department of Education is a source.
No, the Department of Education doesn't say 41% of people it was a scam for, or that they didn't use any of the information they learned in college.
You are using.
So are you saying none of them use any of the information?
Can I say 3 words without you interrupting me?
Do any of them use the information later on?
Can I say 5 words without interrupting
Well, you've
me?
interrupted me multiple times.
So since you say college is a scam for some people, it's a ballpark. For the kids that do not graduate, 41% that ended up going and not graduating, were they scammed?
No, just because you go and pay for a particular thing, but then you don't follow through with it, doesn't mean you were scammed.
Maybe they were
You
misled.
decided to pay for it. Oh, you can say some people are misled.
Do you
Some
think
people are
that every-
stigmatized into these things.
do you think
but
that
some people are misled in the church. And you never answered my question on that because you're trying to
I did.
take that time down so that you don't have to answer the question
Well,
about
hold on.
Christianity because you know your worldview looks terrible.
Well, what about Christianity do you want me to answer? We're talking
Well, I think it's
about
false. Or because I was saying,
Okay.
is church a scam? If church is a scam, that'd be predicated off of the idea that you're deceived into believing that there's everlasting life,
Okay, but you
specifically from
believe that-
Christianity.
again,
So Christianity has to be true. So can you grant that? What's the argument?
Christianity is true. Did the
What's the
resurrection?
argument?
You're going to let me finish 3 words in a row?
Appreciate it.
Okay. Did the resurrection happen?
I don't think the resurrection occurred.
Okay, I disagree.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. A perfect creator, is it possible for them to not desire something imperfect?
Is a perfect creator? I'm sorry, what?
There's a perfect creator that desires everything.
Bro,
that's
this
perfect.
nigga, he's not. What is he talking about? What is he talking about? Oh my god. Oh, my brain. Oh, this nigga is annoying. No. Bro, deck him. Bro, oh my god. Yo, Joe, just straight sock this nigga already, bro. This nigga is annoying.
How can they desire something imperfect, flawed?
Well, because maybe they want to get to know themselves. Maybe they want to see their own creation. Maybe they love.
They want to get to know them?
Can I
They're
finish?
all-knowing.
Can I finish?
Oh my.
I finished talking here? Okay, maybe because God loved the world so much that his creation, which rebelled against him, given agency and free will, rebelled against them, then got eternal life, what we actually deserve, and then sent his son on a rescue mission to save us from that. The church is the bride of Christ, will save us from damnation that we deserve. College is far from the bride of America. It's currently scamming the youth of this country and sending them into oblivion.
Didn't answer the question.
I did.
No, you didn't say how they could desire something imperfect.
Well, God can
We'll
do
talk about
anything.
that later.
God can do anything, so.
Even something logically contradictory?
No, it's not logically contradictory.
So desire something imperfect.
Can an unstoppable object hit a unusual force?
Hey, before we go any further, we want to take a moment to say
Yo,
thanks so much
that
to
nigga
Euronews
is
for
talking
powering
about
the
bullshit.
Sam.
Nice to meet you. Let's define our terms. A woman is an adult female.
Wait, trans women are not women. What?
Yeah, my next claim is that trans women are not women.
Trans women. Wait. Trans women are not women. Trans women are not women.
Okay. What's your name?
Sam.
Nice to meet you.
Trans women.
Let's define our terms.
Oh.
A woman is an adult female with XX chromosomes. You tell me what is a woman.
I think a woman is somebody who identifies as a woman.
Got it. So that's not a definition. That's like saying a table is something that identifies as a table. Give me an objective definition of
No,
how...
it's not. A table is an object.
Well, tell
A table can't identify as anything. It doesn't have a
but
choice.
you have to give me an objective definition of what a woman is.
If I decided right now that I wanted to identify as a woman, I would be a woman.
Okay, but that doesn't answer the question.
I know, but
you
right
said-
now I'm a man, right? So if that
You
happened
have to
right
tell
now,
me
I'd be a
what that
woman.
thing
So
is.
once a person makes the decision to identify as a woman,
Got it. No,
they're a woman.
that's a separate issue. What is
No, nigga, no. No. Nigga, if you have a dick, you a man. If you have a pussy, you it's a girl. The fuck? What are they talking about?
No, I know, but you have to tell me what.
A person who identifies themselves as a woman.
But you have to identify. How do you know that they are that thing?
How do I don't need to know what they
No,
I can ask them if
Not
I
that
want
they
to
need
know.
No,
It needs to be-
no.
You need to tell me what that thing
Yo,
is.
get him out of here, man.
Somebody who Okay,
You need-
okay,
you
sorry,
need to
we're
give
not
me-
getting anywhere. We're
you
not
need to-
getting
well,
anywhere.
no,
We're
it's
not getting
important
anywhere.
because
Yo, get him out of here.
it looks like a giraffe or a coyote's a thing that looks like a coyote. It's
Get him
called
out of here, get him out of here,
reasoning.
get him out of here.
You have to give me a actual definition.
I don't have to I did give you a definition.
No, you said that a woman is something that thinks they're a woman. That
Yo, this nigga's animated,
definition,
bro.
that's simply
What would you consider a definition then?
an adult female with XX
No,
chromosomes.
I mean like what makes that a definition?
Get him out of here. Get him out of here. He tried. He tried it. No! No!
Hi.
Juliana.
No, deadass. Can he get off the set? Please. Nah, I cannot hear no more of this nigga. No, deadass.
Yeah.
Deadass,
I don't
bro.
necessarily think that you can define a woman just by her chromosomes. Women are so much more than that. They come in a variety of shapes, sizes, colors. And I don't necessarily think that you can count out somebody who's trans just because they don't have a certain set of chromosomes. There are also people who are born, I'm drawing a blank.
Okay. Intersex?
Yes.
So XXY or YYX.
Or just, or like X0 with nothing.
So natural mutations upon the binary, essentially, right?
Yes. So.
But they don't have both sex organs that both operate, right?
Yeah, but that also I don't think necessarily works, right? Because if it's X,
One
just
is more
X,
dominant
and
than
there's
the other.
a.
So
Okay,
you're either
that's-
more male or more female, right? So you might have both a penis and a vagina, but there's never been a case of someone who can impregnate themselves.
Okay. I also don't necessarily think that works for this situation, but I also want to say that one of my best friends is trans, and I would say that she's more of a woman than I am. I think that women define themselves by multiple things, not just their sex organs. If somebody asked me who I was as a woman, I would not say I have a vagina.
Totally fair.
I
So-
would.
No, I think you said something smart. So you said that person is more of a woman than you are. Therefore, you're grading off a definition of something accomplishes womanhood. What is that?
I think well, that's a thing too, and I do think that gets a little complicated, right? Because there are social norms for a gender, but I do think we try to break that, right?
No, for
It's
sure.
just-
But you said that specific friend is more of a woman than you are. Why?
I think she's a better person than me. I think she
So
lives
women are
life.
better people?
She's a better woman than I am. I'm not saying women are better people.
But what makes a woman? Because you said she's more of a woman than you are. So I want to know what that definition is.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, he's
I'm gonna
killing
let
you.
somebody
He's
else
killing.
go.
He's killing you, baby. He's killing you. She got an attitude.
Okay.
Fucking God, no. I gotta take a walk. I gotta. No.
All right, Parker. What is a woman?
A woman is an adult human person that has a desire to be in accordance with a particular set of social and cultural norms that are typically associated with female sex.
Bro, my head is busting. Like, I ain't gonna lie. If I ever see this nigga, I'm straight decking him. He not even gonna know what hit him. Oh God. If I ever see this thing, I'm straight decking him. I ain't gonna lie.
No, define a man.
Word on my mother!
You're looking at one XY chromosomes and a.
Okay, but does God the Father have XY chromosomes
Okay,
prior to incarnation?
We literally have a religious.
He's
topic
a
later.
father and he's him, but he's not a man.
We have a religious.
Wait, so a man is someone with XY chromosomes, but he doesn't have XY chromosomes, yet he's still a man. He still uses preferred pronouns.
It's actually very interesting. In the original Hebrew, Adonai. Do you know what Adonai is? It's the Hebrew word for God. It's actually genderless, but in the scriptures they use he, right? And they use the masculine. Jesus Christ came to earth as a man, not as a woman, not as genderqueer. But let's go back to...
But God the Father's a man, right? Because all fathers are men.
Well, first of all, there's a trinity. So God the Father is neither man nor woman. He is omniscient, omnipotent. He is all being on top of it.
So why do you use he?
Well, I did not. The scriptures do. You could use woman. You could say her. You could use him. But the way that the language is structured, again, it is so... God the Father is so above gender. It is so above any of our understanding.
Then why use him?
Glory and understanding. Again, because you have to make a choice, either he or him or her in the original scriptures. Let's go back to. I'm
some
happy
fathers
to get
aren't men and boys.
So
some fathers are not men and boys, not men or boys.
I'm sorry.
Some fathers are not male.
No, of course they are. I'm not.
Wait, so God the Father's a male?
Hold on, God the Father. So where do we get God the Father from? What Greek word?
From your scripture.
Well, from Abba, right, which is a very close personal term.
You're not answering my questions, and you're bringing up random language that doesn't matter.
Well, it actually does.
No, it doesn't.
But let me get down to the root of it,
because he's not a man. You know he's not a man under your worldview. Yet you still use his preferred pronouns. You still call him a man.
Christ is a
but
man.
you don't do that with trans people because you're transphobic. That's why.
Okay, got it. But Christ is a man. I'm happy to get into the sexuality and
before
gender
incarnation, he's not.
Of the Trinity. Okay.
Before incarnation, there's no penis. There's no XY chromosomes. There's no small
Hold on a
gametes.
second. Let's think about it. If that's correct, how is it then Jacob saw the face of God?
Okay, so if there's
hold on. If there was not before the incarnation, how did Jacob see the face of God? How did Jacob wrestle with God?
Characters can have faces without biology.
How did Jacob wrestle with God?
So okay, do you think that he has a body?
Well,
or was that a figurative notion of wrestle?
That's a mystery of the scriptures. I'm not here. Well, it is. I'm not here to debate theology. Can we go back to
so,
what we're talking
does he
about
actually have biology? You keep trying to pivot because you know this debunks you.
Well,
what biology does your God have?
Well, the one of Christ our Lord.
No, I meant before incarnation.
Why does he? Why does he keep bringing up religion? Just talk about the topic, bro.
Well, to be honest, I don't quite know, and I don't think the scriptures.
So you don't know what a man is?
Well,
you can't define what a man is?
It's a little opaque. Again, you're looking at a man.
But your video, the largest video on TikTok is, what is a woman, 20 million views? You don't know what a man is in your own worldview?
I said you're looking at a man, right?
Wait, but God the Father doesn't meet that criteria.
Am I looking
at a man? Yes, you are.
Okay, good. Just making
a man that's beating you in a debate right now.
Okay, that's fine. So let me ask you a question. So, do you think that anybody can become a woman?
I think that anyone who meets my criteria is a woman.
What's your criteria?
Again, adult human person that has a desire to be in accordance with a particular set of social and cultural norms that are typically associated with the female sex.
Can society ever be wrong?
Sure, but like it's a desire to be in accordance with a set of social and cultural norms.
Can I become black if I wear blackface?
No, because it's not a desire that you have to be in accordance with a particular set of
What
social
if somebody
and cultural
wants
norms.
to be black?
Because race is defined phenotypically based upon the expression to other people.
But you're by some standard you're judging that.
Do you think there's a phenotypical expression of someone who's white and someone who's black? Like I see you're white because of your phenotypical expression.
Right. So, but do you think? But Rachel Dolezal that said she is black and culturally black, is she black?
Does she have phenotypically characteristics we would associate
Define
with people who are
phenotypical.
Bro, trans women are not women.
Phenotypical, it's going to be the expression.
So
of
melanin
particular
content in one's
characteristics.
skin.
Yes.
Okay. So she could pass as a black person.
Wait, so she doesn't have the melanin content?
She's borderline.
No?
Heavily.
Okay, so then she's not black.
Okay, so you're able to say who's black and not black?
That's how we define it in society, no shit.
Okay, got it. So, but is there an objective definition of who is black?
Wait, language is all subjective. Linguistics professionals indicate it's subjective.
Language is all subjective?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh,
Every
really?
word you just used was created by other human beings that are engaging in conversation.
No, now
you
we're-
might think it's created by God, but even then it's still subjective.
Got it. But
because it came from
now we're
God.
getting somewhere.
God's a subject.
Now we're getting somewhere. Is the word and the value behind murder objective or subjective?
Well, I think morality is subjective. But you think it's subjective too because it comes from God.
That's interesting.
Wait, does it come from God or independent of God?
Well, of course it comes from God. It's
I think
transcendent.
that's subjective. That's subjective. Yes, it is. If it comes from God, it's specifically subjective. If it comes independent of God, then it's objective.
No,
What you just told me is
God
also
objective
compatible
morality.
with moral anti-realism.
So let's go back to the Ten Commandments.
You don't understand
right?
metaethics.
Well, hold on a second.
What does subjective morality mean? What does it mean?
Subjective morality
Define.
means that it comes in everybody's own opinion.
Nah, he's I ain't gonna lie.
Not dependent upon its stance.
Again,
God is
All he's doing,
and that's the truth of morality.
So if let's believe. Do you believe in if everybody believed in the concept of God, the transcendent God, that there was a Ten Commandments and we should live by that, right? Is that objective morality?
No. Just because people agree doesn't make it objective. Again, independent of a stance.
What is objective morality?
Thank you. Get him out of here, bro. Fuck.
Sorry, thanks. We'll be back at it next time. Mason, how are you? Nice to meet you. Okay.
So I think it's a little scummy that you're plagiarizing the whole Matt Walsh thing. Like your thing is the worship of Israel.
I pay royalties.
Okay, for sure. Well, do you want to talk about sex first, or do you want to talk about gender?
I don't think gender exists. I think it's a term that John Money and Judith Butler created over the last 40 years that basically is a filler for personalities.
Okay, well, if we're talking about sex, which it seems like you're saying is the exact same thing, would you say sex is binary by definition?
For sure, yes, absolutely.
Okay, so you're already incorrect. Like, sex is not binary, it's bimodal. So if you look at a distribution graph, we're going to see people in two camps majority of the time, but there are going to be externalities on both ends of the spectrum and in the middle.
For example, like
so we already talked about intersex. Right?
However, with intersex, though, they are mutations of a binary, correct?
No, we're talking about. Hold on, but we're talking about an entire spectrum. You're by definition defeating your expression of what a binary is by saying that there are externalities.
But let me ask you a question. Like XXY.
For example, you're trying to create this one box and then use any examples that are outside of that box to justify that box again.
You brought up intersex.
We're talking about reality.
You brought up intersex.
Okay.
What sex organs? Which one is more dominant?
What do you mean?
In an XXY situation.
Can you explain your point of view?
Yeah, I mean, obviously you have more female characteristics and male characteristics in an XXY, or it might be YYX. One of the two. The point is that you do not have both.
We can see people with female reproductive organs that have XY, and we can see the vice versa, people with male reproductive organs that have XX.
So I think you said something about gender, though. I think that's more interesting to get into. Okay. Do you understand how the conversation?
So we're moving on to sex because you're ceding that argument.
No, I'm not ceding it. Okay. You want to keep going into it?
We can. If you like.
Okay. So besides male and female, what categories exist?
We have people that are intersex. We have people that are on the other ends of the bimodal distribution graph. Are you aware what bimodal means versus binary?
Somewhat of an understanding.
Okay, well, so you can be presented with a graph after this by the people that you brought with you. But it's actually a bimodal distribution.
Just like constantly going to condescending type talk is not going to be fruitful.
I'm just trying to match your energy with the people that you treated that were trying to have a conversation.
Got it. So
the fuck, nigga, they was lit, bro. The girl, bro.
That you brought with you. But it's actually,
she was being rude.
So just like constantly going to condescending type talk is not going to be fruitful.
I'm just trying to match your energy with the people that you treated that were trying.
And she was being rude. Like, bro, don't even do that.
So trans women are not women. Do you agree with that?
I would say that trans women are women because people that exist under the category of women, people that exist under the category.
You gay. I don't know why you gay.
Where men are still humans.
So that category, how is that defined?
Well, I wouldn't limit it to things like genitals or things like chromosomes, which it seems like you want to do. What type of genitals would you say I have? Since there's five types of genitals.
I'm not obsessed with genitals, but I could do a blood sampling right now and I can see exactly what you are because every single one of your trillions of cells are either coded with XX or XY, no matter how much surgery or whatever. I think that you are a man, but you could fool me. You could take hormones, you could play camouflage. Like, I could fool you to be Hispanic if I had the right Hollywood makeup director. That doesn't mean that you are the thing, though.
But you're going from an objective biological perspective, which we've already talked about with sex. I'm talking about a social construct or a social utility.
Yeah, so
like if we were at a restaurant, right? I'm sitting down at the table, and you're telling the waiter, hey, I want to go sit with blank. What would you use?
With you?
He doesn't know my name.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sitting over there.
That guy.
Yeah.
Yes, correct.
That guy. You're going to typically use he or him, or you're going to say that guy, like you just said.
Correct.
Because you're ascribing the male gender to me based on my
yes, and I say I could be an error. Maybe you are a biological woman.
And then you correct yourself, right?
That take maybe not.
So that's what that is exactly what we're trying to say.
So the question is that do you think that womanhood can then be assumed just through costume design?
It's not costume design.
What is it then?
It's performative social characteristics.
So you can
that's what gender is.
Okay, great, got it. So it's like a theater troupe.
It's not a theater troupe.
So
these are social.
So womanhood can be appropriated.
No, they're category theater troops. So these are social.
What the fuck happened to his hand? I just realized that. This nigga is Deadpool.
Okay, great, got it. What is it then?
It's performative social characteristics.
So you can
that's what gender is.
Okay.
This nigga's Deadpool. Oh my god, this nigga's Deadpool.
Great, got it. So it's like a theater troupe.
It's not a theater troupe. So these are social.
Oh, this nigga is Deadpool.
They're categories. categories. That's what it is.
So there's nothing inherent about the chromosomes. There's nothing that.
Correct. Yes.
Wow, we disagree. So there's nothing inherent about having a period or being able to give birth or the specific hormonal makeup.
In different cultures, we've ascribed that to womanhood. If you go back to other cultures spanning thousands of years, you'll see a difference.
No, I know. Like, for example, the Mayans had plenty of people that were schizophrenic, right? So that means nothing to me, right?
Okay, so we have people that say they're hearing things from God. Would you say that's schizophrenic?
Well, not necessarily. It built Western civilization and common law and due process and individual rights.
I just wanted to hear that your priority.
Defense of the unborn and the greatest civilization ever. You know, that voice from God happened to build the greatest nation ever to exist in the history of the world. That's
I think mine is the same thing. That's the problem with presuppositional arguments.
Let's go down
that you could say.
Can we go visit?
I mean, God's telling me right now that you're a
Nation?
fish. You think that's real?
Can we go visit the Mayan Nation? They didn't last that long, did they?
Yeah, over killing and violence, and you can justify that if you like.
You mean all the child sacrifice?
And this is the condescending tone. That's why I'm trying to match it. Is because
you mean all the child sacrifice the Aztecs, Mayans, and Incans did on the top of temples? Great civilization.
Do you want to go back in the Old Testament? Let's bring Parker up in here to talk about all the child marriage. We can talk about the justification of rape.
Where was child sacrifice ever in the Bible?
When Isaac was almost fucking sacrificed by his dad.
He wasn't though, because at the beginning of Genesis.
So God just said like, nah, just kidding, dog. Don't actually
know why? Because at the beginning of Genesis 16 said, I'm going to test
to prove obedience.
Yes. Yeah, that's right. So now you know it. So actually, there was no child sacrifice in the Bible. It was a prohibition on child sacrifice in the Bible. But anyway, that's a little bit of a rabbit hole. Do you understand at least? Can you sympathize with our perspective?
Okay.
That
I'll calm it down a little bit. I apologize for the condescension.
No, it's fine. I mean, but you're doing it's fine. But did you see where this could get wildly out of control? At least
I don't see how it would get out of control because
even in sports, for example, you think that there's
Oh my bro, did y'all see that boxer that hit that lady, the trans boxer that hit that girl so hard that she didn't even want to fight no more? Come on, bro. She's not a woman. She is not a woman. That is a man. That is a man.
We might be able to agree upon, right? Sports were not archaeologically dug up,
is
right?
a man.
They are things that we've created as a society. We've decided as a society the most fair categorization is male sports and female sports. Now, as we've been able to understand, or at least bring into the forefront, people who don't identify with the binary, we still have to allow all people.
Yo, I cannot stop looking at this nigga hand,
all
bro.
Men that are men in women's category. That includes cis and trans. If you'd like to change that category because you think it's unfair, we can do that. That's what's awesome about arbitrary rules is we can decide hormones.
I might not know this, but like when the Greeks started the Olympics 2,000 years ago, did they have like a bunch of dudes wrestling with women?
I don't think they allowed women to compete.
Well,
I might be wrong on that,
but that kind of proves the point, though, that there was
what did we do to allow women? We changed the rules.
Right, no, but that, by definition, therefore, there is something from body composition, bone mass, lung density, testosterone, and estrogen rates, endocrinology is different.
If you say the majority of males in the bimodal distribution graph, going back to that.
He's cooking, bro.
You can say
trans women are not
this level of hormones in this category. We can separate it by hormones. I agree with you that a majority of men or majority of cis men are.
You got to be like 99.9%.
I don't know. Ronda Rousey could kick my ass. I will say that.
No, for sure. But I mean, but could she kick Conor McGregor's ass?
Well, now we're talking about the peaks, right?
The peaks of cisgender. No, because you're talking about the peaks of two different categories in the same sort of.
Right. Because why? She's a cis woman.
Well, she's a cis woman. And
correct. A cis man.
But yes, and correct. Kick her tail, right?
Yes, I would agree.
Well, okay, for sure, right?
Because cis men and cis women have different hormone levels. If you want to change the hormones, we can change the categorization. But you're saying that you want men and women, bar none, and you say that's the most fair category. Then we have to allow all women and all men.
Well, but again, those things don't. So I just want to be clear. So because I think I'm tracking your argument. Is that in the University of Pennsylvania swim team when Thomas
raise it up.
You're perfectly fine with that.
I think as long as we have the categories that way.
Thanks.
Good, Major. Yeah.
Raise it up.
I'm gonna get him in. He's debated yet. No, you're fine. What's your name?
Hi, my name is Preeti. Nice to meet you.
Brittany, nice to meet you.
Oh!
Preeti. Preeti.
I'm sorry.
You're totally good. Yeah. Okay, so I kind of want to go back to a little earlier. You said that Parker has lower T than you. So would you say? Yeah. No. I'm fully aware it's a joke. But I guess on that point, do you think that T has to do, or testosterone has to do with your manhood?
No. Well, yes and no. I mean, if you are looking at typical testosterone estrogen rates of women, they are far different than those of men. But for example, your testosterone rate goes down when you have children. For example, when you're a man, that doesn't make you less of a man. They go down to 400 points.
Okay, but like when we were talking earlier about like sports, right? And you were saying that the reason why it's unfair for like for example, a trans woman who used to be a man to be like competing in women's sports. You cited that they have higher testosterone levels.
One of about 50 characteristics. Also lung density. Their men's hearts are bigger.
Okay.
We have greater bone density, muscle mass.
Okay,
Tend to be faster, tend to be stronger.
I understand. But like those factors all come from the hormones during the development process, correct?
No, not necessarily. No.
I mean, most of them do.
Well, not all of them. So, for example, you could try to pump a young girl's body with testosterone at 8 years old, and you can get them stronger. You cannot necessarily get them on par with a biological male at puberty. You cannot. You could try.
Okay, but like...
Because there's something in the coding of our genetics.
Right, the coding of our genetics, which is often like controlled by like different like, I guess, parts of our DNA and also the hormones that are produced that affect the effective coding of how
more than endocrinology is a big part. Because, for example, if you just give a kid testosterone, that doesn't even get them close to becoming a male, or estrogen giving them a female.
Okay.
They might get characteristics that are close to that.
Right, okay.
But it doesn't,
but I mean, like there's no perfect image of like, this is what a female looks like, this is what a male looks like. Like we all get our periods at different ages, some of us like, and also like, for example, like there are many circumstances where womanhood is just not one thing, right? It's a multitude of experiences
for
that
sure.
every single
Can you define what womanhood is?
I'm understanding.
Well, no, I can't define what womanhood is, and the reason why is because it's something that's an individual.
This is a long
experience for
video,
every
bro.
single person, right? Like my experiences, what I have experienced throughout my life is not going to be the same as another woman who may have like grown up in a different
We have
environment.
disagreement, but not clarity. I say that being a woman or womanhood is an objective thing.
Right, but
It's objective outside of one's own opinions or experiences.
So, but are we at the point where we're discussing where this is like not something based on your chromosomes, but something maybe based on a construct?
Well, no, it also can be objectively witnessed in empirical ways, in biological ways, in scientific ways.
Okay, so to clarify, we're still discussing whether womanhood is on chromosomes or not.
If you'd like to discuss that, it's deeper than just chromosomes.
Right, I'm just trying to like define exactly.
For example, if we look at SPECT scans or brain scans of men and women, 98% of the time artificial intelligence can tell you which one is the men, which one is the male, the female.
Okay.
So our different parts of our brains fire. So for men, for example, our amygdalas are not as high working as women. You know what amygdala is the threat of
These niggas are smart as fuck. I'm not gonna lie.
So there's a difference
Holy
between the
shit.
concept for what sex is, which is a biological aspect, and what gender is, which is a social construct,
I
right?
reject gender completely as a different word. It's really a
Okay, so
personality.
that's the debate.
Yes.
The existence of gender.
Gender means personality. I don't doubt that biological men might
How
have
would you
feminine type
define
characteristics.
race on that point?
How would I define race? Well, race is a very difficult topic.
Okay, because I think that it's a really important thing to discuss when it comes
here's
to
the thing,
things like
if
this.
I draw blood,
Is it ethnic lines?
if you have a blood sample of a black individual and a white individual, I can't tell you which one is which. If I have a blood sample of a man and a woman, I can tell you which one is which, just by running very simple elementary blood tests. So, for example, if there was a Hispanic or a white, there is no difference in the genetic coding. There just isn't.
Why is it important that someone's okay.
My next claim is that Kamala Harris is a DEI candidate.
I don't know what that is. This about to get crazy.
A lot of competition, Mason.
Yeah, exactly.
Good to see you.
Good to see you again.
Can I define what a DEI candidate is?
I think that you're going to say because she's black and she's a woman, she's appointed because Joe Biden promised that, and it's not a testament to her
Not only
success.
that, but also in her getting the nomination of the Democrat Party, they said repeatedly, we do not want to pass over a black female.
Okay.
So just those two things, but the first one is stronger. You're right. Joe Biden said, I'm going to put on my vice presidency a black female. Right. So his criteria. Yeah, and that's like Karen Bass and Kamala Harris.
Okay.
So she was not chosen because of her intellect or her accomplishments or because of any of that. It was because she happened to fit a couple boxes. In fact, Amy Klobuchar, the vetting at the time was that Amy Klobuchar would have been a better VP, and Kamala ended up getting it. So it's just a statement of fact that she is there not because of her brilliance or accomplishments.
I want to. Oh, wait.
Represents that diversity within the government.
Well, no, but you're saying.
Mouthful of. No more. I don't really care if affirmative action is constitutional.
Of course there was. We get to be delusional not to acknowledge those things.
Okay, so we can acknowledge all of those.
Understand, why is it the more social welfare we've done, so we've spent $20 trillion on the population.
From arguing your point, not actually countering the points that you come up with.
He often will switch the topic, like do a lot of gish galloping, like kind of filibustering to get people to not be able to make the points that they want to make. And I definitely feel like he did that to me.
Look, Charlie's a talented guy. There's a reason why he spoke at the RNC. He's media trained, he's had conversations like this before, and he's built a career on dunking college students. But for a bunch of liberal students who don't have that same type of media training and who aren't as prepared to be in confrontational formats like this, I thought they did a really good job of articulating their views.
Yeah, Mason was the smartest kid, for sure. Parker needs to calm down. Very smart, but kept on changing the topic.
Yeah, that nigga's fucking annoying. Oh my god.
But he's got talent. Very annoying, though. Smart, but annoying.
Very
Parker
annoying.
definitely gave Charlie a run for his money. Yeah, it's wild to me. I can't believe that.
I think the group did very great.
I fucking hate you!
It's a very hard environment for people to learn in these types of areas, but I think it's best that people...
Put your dumb ass up, man. You're fucking annoying.